Yeah, my granddad was a pawnbroker around the corner in Charlemont Mall. Up until the 40s, there was a pawnbroker strike, and he got out of it because he was a pawnbroker manager. He didn't own the building. A lot of people knew him very well and trusted him. He was into social justice and all. So people came around, and he put his name over the door, and he bought and sold rather than pawn. And it just took off. Second-hand furniture there was a demand for it, because there was really only Arnott's and Cleary's in Dublin where you could buy furniture, and that was just out of most people's price range. And also back in those days, you lived within your means. You didn't have Visa cards. You didn't have all these cards that you say, oh, we'll pay it off over. You didn't. If you couldn't afford it, you bought it, you know what I mean? So you came up to Christy and you bought a table that you could actually afford, you know what I mean? Whether you liked it or not, you could afford it. The College of Surgeons is just down the road from us in Stephen's Green, and the students used to all have their own skeletons. They had to have their own skeletons. And back then, there were real human skeletons that were humans donated their bodies. So everyone had one. But they didn't need them in the summer. They didn't want to bring them home or whatever, would you? So they would bring them up to us, and we'd buy them off them in May. And we'd have them all down the basement, hanging up down there. And then they'd come back, the new students in September, October, or the returning students, would come back up and buy them back off us, and off they went. So that went on for years, and it was a quirky thing to have in the basement. I'm sure a load of people got shocked going down there, and there'd be a load of skeletons hanging up. So that was a cool little thing. We used to also, because we did house clearances, and people back then, dentists weren't, you know what I mean? People couldn't afford or didn't have the healthcare as they do now. So everyone had dentures, literally. So we used to do house clearances, and we used to take everything from the house. We'd literally pull up the lino, take the lino, take all the light fittings, take the curtains, take everything, carpet, everything. And including the dentures, because they'd always be on the bedside of the person who passed away or whatever. So we'd come back, and the dentures would go in a bucket. And then people would come in and go, oh yeah, perfect. And they'd try on the dentures. Disgusting, I know. But they did, and they'd buy them, and off they went, happy as Larry, a new set of teeth. But business sort of went online. It's going more and more online. People, you can just look around. Anyone who, everyone who shops now shops online, really. Looks first online. If it's too far away, to buy it online, you know what I mean? And less people want to come in and touch it and stuff like that and see that it's real. And that's just the way we're going, you know what I mean? It's all about convenience. People don't have time to shop anymore. Like, that's a ridiculous notion. Unless it's all in 50 shops in one building, perfect. But if you're spread out like Dublin was, people aren't interested in going over to Capel Street or up to Ting, you know what I mean? They want everything in the same area. Like, we're here 80 years, 1945, so it's been a long old time, but things change, you know what I mean? Like, I did an awful lot of my business on the street there. People would pull up, will you buy this, Christy, or you know what I mean? And that was great, because people could clear it rather than dumping it. But now you can't pull in. There's bicycle lanes, bus lanes, they put in double yellow lines. And all of these things they've done without even consulting, you know what I mean, the shops, you know what I mean? So our business is totally gone now. Any customer I get and say, oh, the parking around here is incredibly hard to get. Like, so many people, even your friend here said, oh, I've driven past here so often. Now, that's great. How many times have you been in? You know what I mean? None, you know what I mean? So, like, people say, oh, it'd be so hard to see Christy Bird go. But most of them have never been in. They just know the name, and they know it's in Portobello, and they've seen it, you know what I mean? So it's very difficult for us, and we love it. Like, having my granddad's name over the door, and people mentioning him, and people, like, I get emails from people in Australia, all over the world, saying Christy Bird's great. And to me, I get a buzz, because that's my granddad, you know what I mean? He's dead 50 years now, you know what I mean? So it's a great buzz that people are still mentioning him, and in his honour, you know what I mean? Because he was a simple enough guy, you know what I mean?